Hola guys, how's everyone doing? This is Hala Pablo. Welcome back. Let's talk about EOS. Let's get right into it like you know I love to do without wasting any time. So EOS has been in a steep decline. EOS is a very interesting coin. I'm going to come right out and tell you, I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm not heavy in EOS. I like it. I find it quite interesting. I think it's definitely worthwhile looking into. What entices me about EOS, two things. Number one, the very steep bleed out that it's had. It's just been wrecked like everything else, like Algorand, like Zcash, just wrecked. Although Algorand's kind of recuperated since then, but Zcash is still on a downward trajectory, and certainly EOS. EOS is very interesting because it's touted as a Ethereum killer, and it has its own ecosystem. I think it needs to do a little bit more work. They need to step up the game on the ecosystem. But something very, very interesting happened about 5 months ago with EOS, and it got approved in Japan on the Japanese. Securing regulatory approval from the JVCEA is a monumental achievement for EOS. So it got whitelisted by the Japanese securities system, and it's regulated on cryptocurrency exchanges in Japan. And it's my understanding that the Japanese authorities, the crypto authorities, or their own version of our Securities and Exchange Commission, is very, very tough. I mean, there are certain protocols, there are certain standards that these coins have to fulfill in order to be able to be traded publicly in Japan, and EOS passed muster. So that tells me that it's not dead, that it is making inroads and strides in Japan. And I think there's a lot of interesting things going on in Japan. I think Japan is huge future in crypto. And so EOS being whitelisted, I smell blood right now. And so EOS is bloody. EOS is a bloody damn crypto, isn't it? And but that is good. That's good for us, isn't it? Because we buy the blood. We don't chase green fire. We don't chase the green candles. We don't chase the pumpers like the noobs do. We buy the blood because we're after the big gains, right? We're after the big money. So I am, at least. I hope you are, and I hope you have strong hands and you're willing to buy the blood and hold it. And just hold it for however long you need. I mean, come on, it's 72 cents a coin right now, and it had its what was its all-time? What the fuck? Jesus, I didn't know it was that. All right, so yeah, Stratosphere, $12, $13. Come on, it's 72 cents, and it just got whitelisted in Japan. So, yeah. So I thought we would do just a real brief fractal range analysis to see where would be the best price levels to start like digging in, you know. Really right now, anywhere right now would be good if you could dollar cost average. There's no way you'll lose unless it just goes belly up, you know, and the whole project just tanks, which like we just saw, it doesn't look like that. 5 months ago, it just got whitelisted in Japan. So let's see. You got to regard these things the same way you would anything else, like Zcash or any of these other tokens. Really, it's unclear where they're going to go, but that's where faith comes in. That's where hope and yeah, it's nobody knows. Nobody has a crystal ball, you know. So, but you weigh in all the pros and the cons, and to me, there's a lot more pros in taking the gamble with something like EOS than you pissing your money away on something else. You know, you can go to Atlantic City or Vegas and piss it away on a slot machine or whatever, or you could buy some EOS and put it on a ledger and just forget about it, and you know, and buy the retracements every now and then if you feel so inclined. So on the macro here, I have the macro and the micro. This is fractal range analysis. This is a system I'm developing for my own technical analysis prowess. And if you can identify with any of this, check it out. It's a really cool system. So I have EOS on the 2-day here, and then I have EOS under here on the 15. And so on the 15 is the micro, and the 2-day is what I call the macro in the forensic time frame. So on the macro, it shows us we're in a descending wedge. I have the Wolfe wave drawn out here, the Wolfe wave structure. And so, you know, this is a descending wedge. Descending wedges are bullish, eventually, right? So with the Wolfe wave, we have the 1, the 2. See, so the 1 would be like the selling climax, and then we have the automatic rally would be the 2, and the 3 would be the secondary test, and then 4 would be like a, you know, in this case, it would maybe like a sign of weakness since we have this descending channel going down. So with Wolfe wave theory, you draw the line from the 1 and the 4 wave up. You just trace it through, and that gives you a kind of like a speculative trajectory of where, when the 5 wave marks up, where we can expect it to head to. And at some point, it's going to cross this this wave coming up from the 1 and the 4, and there it is recommended that it could start finding support there, or supply will start coming in, and that would actually mitigate this liquidity void up here on the 2 wave. You see how it comes up and it mitigates. So this area right here would be what? So like $2 EOS. So anyway, if it marks up, that would be an area, that would be a major area where you would want to take profit. So, but we don't want to talk about that right now. We want to look at what it's going to be doing, because just because it's at the macro trend resistance on this descending wedge, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to pump from here. In fact, there's probably more blood in the forecast, guys. Which is, again, good. When you hear about stuff dumping, when you hear about stuff retracing, it is a good thing. I want you to start thinking like I think. It is a good thing. This is where you make your money. This is where you begin to sow your seed. Sow the crop, you reap what you sow. So if you sow deeply, you're going to reap very, very high altitude crops. So we're looking to sow into the deep blood of these traumatized, these coins that have retraced deeply. And so I'm kind of wanting EOS to retrace here. So, but it's inconclusive. It looks like we have like a head and shoulders kind of thing on the macro forming. So we had a failure to rally here. The supply and if we look at the volume spread analysis metrics, supply and demand's kind of toe and toe here, the bears and the bulls. We have this little Elliott wave that retraced back down. Here's the ABC. The A came back down to macro trend resistance. Now this is a B wave. We may mark back down and have another stab at this macro trend support. But like I said, it's still inconclusive. But everything that's transpiring right here on this juncture right here is on the 15-minute, now we have the forensic detail of what exactly is going on there. And so a lot of this mirrors what's going on here. So instead of it's kind of like an inversion, because here we have the descending narrowing wedge, and here we have the ascending widening or broadening wedge, which is, these are bearish structures, and that's why it's distributed here. But it distributed back down to TRS, which is trading range support. That's this line here, this horizontal line. And we marked down to the 1.272 Fibonacci, which it just about mitigated this secondary test in B. If this was a Wyckoff, I would call this a secondary test in B, because we came back up with the wedge, which was the beginning of the wedge here, if you count this as the buying climax. So we came up on the wedge. We had the horns of the devil here, retraced, came up, wasn't able to surpass the trading range resistance line, broke through. Now this would be the micro trend support line on this broadening rising wedge. Came through it with supply confirmation and back down, and now here we are presently hugging trading range support. Trading range support. So this is here. This is in here. And so The $1,000,000 question right now is, do we buy EOS, or is it going to distribute a little bit further? It's looking like it may distribute back down into the Fibonacci retracements here. If it does that, we're going back down into this in the macro wedge. Perhaps we're going to take another Elliott wave down, and if we do, we're going to hit the macro trend support line, which just happens to rest right on top of the this would be the 1.414 fib line. And so that would be interesting if it does that. And if we do have if we have a bear trap after this, the bear trap could take us down. We could even touch the 1.618 retracement, this line here, at some point during if the market double bottoms when Bitcoin retraces from the current macro counter trend that it's in, comes back down to say 25,000 or lower to mitigate those lows. Sometimes it could drag down these some of these alts too. So if EOS is one of those, it would make perfect sense to come back down, hit the 1.618 on the macro, which is 21 cents. Imagine fucking picking up 21 cent EOS, a coin that has been whitelisted in Japan to be traded on their security exchanges, to pick up a coin that hopefully makes inroads and becomes a major player in the future with its own ecosystem, to rival Ethereum, and to be able to to know that you've absorbed this token within this Fibonacci retracement range. Guys, if you have strong hands and you buy it with say disposable income that you could just stash it away on a ledger, stash a whole bunch of these guys away on a ledger and just forget about it, or just dollar cost average, whatever. You could be very, very well off in another year and a half from now. Just saying. So this is not financial advice. This is stuff that I do. This is stuff that I look at. I'm going to be doing it if we retrace back into the wedge. Then yeah, I'm gonna pick up some EOS. So that's what I'm doing. You're welcome to do what I'm doing. It's not financial advice, but hey, if you get anything out of this, this sort of technical analysis, like, subscription, I don't make a big deal about it. I did hit 500 subscribers recently, so thank you. That's it. This motivates me to do more of these, and I have a lot of other coins that I'm looking at and that I share with my Discord group. If you'd like to take your trading up like another level and learn how to properly trade with price action volume metrics, and you'd like more details on all the coins that I'm in heavy, then yeah, check it out. I keep it extremely affordable to differentiate myself from people who overcharge for these signal groups and all that, which I don't recommend. Learn how to do it yourself. Learn the right way, and that way you can go find the treasure yourself. You could find so much better to learn how to fish and hunt than to beg, than to go to the back door of a restaurant and beg, right? Wouldn't you say that? And you don't even know the food could be spoiled that you're getting, which often it is when you get these bullcrap bot signals that, a lot of people get wrecked on, that they pay for it and they get wrecked. So anyway, you make your own decision. And in any case, you could profit off these videos. So, all right, I'm going to go. It's been good. I'm out of here. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Adios. Bye-bye. I'm gone.